Average Dude has something to say about...
Welcome back. I told you I was going to be going over this situation. Been hesitant because I have a lot of mixed feelings. I have a lot of powerful, strong feelings on this one. America's gun control versus gun rights situation, which is all over the news, all completely in your face. Let's go over this one because I imagine that I'm going to be brassing off both groups because they're the problem. Okay, for those of you who've been following this particular show of mine since I started it, go back to episode 6 when I dealt with America's idiotic fiasco that was the counter-protest situation over fast food chicken. We looked like absolute idiots to the world. But I explained why that happens, okay? You have two sides, two extreme sides. Group number 1, group number 2, they're bullies. And one wants something one way and the other wants it another way, and they kick. But of course, there's all of us in the middle that they're ended up in their pursuit, in their mad, absolute, selfish, driven pursuit to kick each other. They end up kicking everyone in the middle, and they don't take any responsibility or accountability. When they kick the people in the middle, instead of saying I'm sorry, they point to the other side. Look what they did to you. You need to kick them. Yeah, recruiting, and it's going on. It's all over the place here in America. We never compromise ever, and we certainly never stick with any situation that works for very long. Okay, when it comes to this whole gun thing, I'm tired. I'm absolutely disgusted and tired of the saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people, because the far left and far right are stupid. They're absolutely not seeing the forest for they're not seeing the forest for the trees. Okay? Guns are tools designed for nothing other than to pierce flesh and kill. They are very, very good at it, but guns don't have intent. Guns don't decide, hey, I'm going to kill something. Guns don't have that. They're not sentient yet. People are sentient. People make decisions. People have feelings. People bring a lot of their inner crap to the table. But people aren't always very good at... they need tools to do things better than they can do with their own hands. And okay, here's the equation for both sides. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. You're idiots. Guns plus people equals bad, horrible outcome. And it's been that way ever since when we've had our hands on any kind of weapon. Are you kidding me? Good God. But you know what? We opened up Pandora's box, and I'm not so stupid that I think that we're ever going to be... Idealism is never going to ultimately work because you're not going to get rid of all the weapons. Pandora's box has been opened. So what are we going to do about it? If we try to get rid of all the weapons... Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to gun rights, basically any rights, if people have too few rights or they don't have any rights at all, I am going to be worried about the few, the ones in power, the government, the police, the law enforcement, and in the case of like guns, especially gun rights, you know, if you banned all weapons, there's always going to be those privileged few, you know, money, those with connections, the favored ones, that even though they're not part of the government, yeah, they can have guns too. But I'm going to be worried about the few. When people have too many rights, like in the case of the Second Amendment where everything and anything goes, I'm going to be worried about the people. There's a common thread in both of those situations. I am worried about who has the guns. And much more importantly than that, what they do with those guns, whether they're mentally ill, behavioral, I don't care about that crap. I care about what they ultimately do, what is done with those weapons. That's what concerns me. Okay? And we do have a problem. And you know what our problem is? We don't know how to compromise. I mean, we've been through... America's history shows this problem with guns. Good God! We've been through this all before. It's a cycle. Okay, let's look at America's history for a moment. We were colonists. We came over here, and then Britain, England, took advantage of us at gunpoint. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. And you know what? We busted our butts to the point where we were in a land with so many resources which would have made it so easy for us to survive, and yet we couldn't even benefit from it because we were held up at gunpoint. That is the power of someone lording life and death over someone else. You can have a situation where, ironically, you can make it happen, and yet because you're being held up and your life is on the line, you have to give it up. It's being stolen from you. So the colonists got to the point where they've just had enough. And so they got their own guns and, turned it all around, didn't they? America became a country, the United States of America. And do you think that that solved the situation? No. First of all, okay, I'm getting tired of people, especially those on the right, who think that they know what the Constitution's all about. And I'm tired. I'm a constitutionalist. What the hell does that mean? Hey, are you aware of just how ridiculously inept the Constitution was at the beginning? Our forefathers, they never created a country before. Did you expect them to know what to do? They didn't know what the hell to do. When you do something for the first time, there's a lot of trial and error. They made mistakes. They left a lot of things out, including rights, like the right to bear arms. Uh-oh, we left a bunch of things out. Time to amend the Constitution. That's what the Bill of Rights, that's what the amendments are for, to amend what was originally there and left lacking. People who say that they're constitutionalists, you're dipshits, because you're going to pick and choose at what point in history the Constitution that agrees with you, and that's selfish. And that's cherry picking, buttholes. Okay? The Constitution is amended for a reason because it was never perfect to begin with, ever. And you know what? We had to add the right to bear arms, and you have to understand why. We were being held up at gunpoint by England, and we wanted to add that in there so that people had the right to bear arms and protect themselves. And guess what happens when you give people the power? The power! We've got the power! The people turned around and abused that power. We're seeing that a lot right now. When you have people being given too much power, they abuse it. People abuse everything. They were given the right to the Second Amendment, and they abused it, and they started turning their guns on each other. And so right there started the whole gun regulation and control movement. And from that point in our country's history, we have been going through this cycle of too much violence with guns, which is people taking advantage and abusing the right to use a gun against other people. And so you have a bunch of people who want to get that under control, and then laws are passed, rights, and basically they get it under control. The pendulum swings about halfway, and there's the sweet spot. You have the right to have a gun, but there are stipulations and guidelines. But do you think that that's good enough for that other group? Oh, no. That group just keeps on going. We're not going to be happy until we take all the guns away and nobody has the right. I don't want guns, and I don't want anybody else to have a gun. Selfish beyond belief, bull crap, and ultimately doesn't work. Numbnuts. This is something that the people on the right, the people who like guns, they get this without having to even be told. If you take away guns, and the government has no reason not to just rook you left and right and take advantage of you till the end of the earth. And not only that, but other countries can quite frankly decide, yeah, we're going to take a good closer look because, hey, the people don't have weapons. Okay, you have a problem there. But then when the people have the right to do whatever, to the point of having these horse shit laws like stand your ground, in other words, I just killed something and now I killed someone and now I get away with it and walk away. No, the Constitution was never about that. You were never supposed to have the right to a gun that can quite frankly just spray a whole bunch of bullets to the point, or bombs or rocket launchers or all that crap. You were never supposed to have that right. And it's all about one person's right to do something and another person's right to be free of abuse from that other person's right to do. It's that balance. And we never figure this out, ever. We abuse these amendments horribly, and we're never going to stop, ever. So where are we right now? Well, I'll tell you where we're at right now. We need to fix what's going on at the moment, and I'm going to deal with that in the next episode. Everybody on the far right and the far left, feel free to dislike. You are the problem. We have had moments in our history where we have met halfway, and that was never good enough. And you know what, the left? You need to stop, when we get these situations under control, you need to stop pushing to get rid of all guns. Because then the people on the far right are going to get defensive. They're going to be worried about the other problem. Oh crap, the guns are gone. You too need to be able to sit down, talk, have an adult discussion. And I don't believe it's ever going to happen in this country. But again, stay tuned for the next episode where I go over just how ridiculous our current situation is.